What's up guys, welcome to another video here on the Meep Gaming channel. Today, I haven't actually done one of these. I've been wanting to do one of these for a while, but as you can probably tell by the title and hopefully the thumbnail, yeah, this isn't necessarily going to be a typical video. Today I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on the coronavirus or COVID-19 virus, and before I go ahead and Before I go ahead and get right into this, I want to say that YouTube has kind of been pretty strict with all the videos concerning the coronavirus, so hopefully this video doesn't have anything happen to it. If so, well, as long as the video gets to stay up, that's really why I'm making this, just so for the sake of sharing my thoughts. So basically, in case you've been living literally at the bottom of the ocean under a rock, buried in sand next to SpongeBob in SpongeBob's basement, you probably know of this virus that's been going around called COVID-19, also known as the novel coronavirus. I am definitely not an expert on this, but it is pretty scary. Schools have been shut down in my area. We're not allowed to leave our houses unless we're essential personnel like a doctor or a food delivery person, I believe. I'm not exactly sure. But yeah, I feel like people are still not taking this as seriously as they need to be taking this. I still see, I still hear lots of my friends who are in the city, especially because I'm kind of far away from my city. I still see lots of friends telling me that there's people walking on the street, there's people out in their yard, having a good time, and I think until now it's only been a recommendation. It hasn't been guaranteed that you're gonna get in trouble if you're outside, but yesterday my state actually decided that if you're caught outside, then you're gonna be fined and punished, and yeah, it's not good. And that was just really a wake-up call for many of us, because I know me personally, I didn't worry that too much, but then I looked closely at the cases, at this rate of spread, and it's actually pretty scary. I have my grandparents living with me, and in case you didn't know, elderly and people with underlying health conditions are at extreme risk to this virus. So that for me is just pretty terrifying. Yeah, just the thought that I have all my grandparents with me and I could bring the virus into my household and it could infect them and possibly kill them. It's really eye-opening to think that it's literally in my state. It's just a couple miles away from me, probably not that close, but it could be in our house and we don't even know it. And it's just really scary, to be honest. Yeah, I think there's a lot more measures we could be taking. I really think that there's the spread, the rate of spread is just absurd with this virus. And in case you guys didn't know, viruses mutate. They mutate all the time, and there's actually evidence that shows that the virus has mutated before. So think about that just a second. I mean, if you've ever played Playing Inc, you probably know this, but viruses, they can mutate to become even worse. Just they're kind of out of control. No one can really predict what's going to happen. And just imagine if this coronavirus, this virus that's able to be spread rapidly and undetectably, mutates into something worse than it already is. Imagine how bad that would be. I'm looking, on my second monitor over here, I have some statistics from the CDC, Center of Disease Control and Prevention. I'm sure many of you guys are aware of this. In the United States, we have 54,000 cases. 54,000 cases and 737 deaths, and this is the statistics for March 25th, in case any of you guys are watching this at a later date. That's actually insane, In China, I remember there's I think around 70,000 cases in China, which, if you think about China has such a densely populated area that's actually not that bad for China. For the United States, for us having 54,000 cases, that's a really big deal. I don't think we're quite as densely populated. I know we have New York is in a state of emergency right now, and I know we have a few densely populated cities, but 54,000 people, that's so close to the amount China has, and we have 500 million people? in our country, 600 million people. China has almost 2 billion, might even 2 billion. Please don't quote me on this. That's really shocking. And my state, specifically in Oklahoma, we have 109 cases only, and we only have 1 death. So I guess my state is pretty well off, where a lot's changed, and it's actually a lot to get used to. It's really, I think many of us, if you're around my age, we've never seen anything like this in our lifetime, and hopefully we won't see anything else. It's really apparently there's like around 2% fatality rate, which, okay, looking at it, it's not that bad. I know many people are saying, oh, it's just like the flu. Well, I mean, sure, yeah, if you think about it, it's a lot like the flu, but the thing is that the flu, this is, if I'm doing my math correctly, this is 20 times as deadly as the flu. And if you look at how out of control the flu is in general, like, humans have never really done a good job of containing the flu because it's just never posed that as much of a threat. This coronavirus, again, doesn't pose as much of a threat as some other things like Ebola, of course, and I can't think of anything else, but it's 20 times more fatal than the flu. If you put that in perspective on how many people the flu kills each year, and you also consider that the coronavirus is just as easily spread, if not more easily, because, I actually know of some people that are infected with it, and they don't even know. There was a basketball player in our state that I think originally brought it to our state, and many of you might have heard of him. He's a player on the Utah Jazz, and he says that he feels like he could go and play the World Series right now, and he wouldn't even feel a difference. Like, the simple fact that you don't know you have it, and you can be spreading it so easily is just really terrifying. And 2% fatality rate. I'm going to put this into a kind of video game perspective. How many times have you done something in a video game that has such a low success rate? And it happens, and it's wow, miraculous. Well, that easily you could die from the coronavirus. And are you really willing to take that chance? Are you really willing to take that 2% fatality rate, as well as the added risk of passing it on to your loved ones and them also having the risk? And on the other hand, it's sick. Who wants to be sick? It's just not a good idea. And I think many people might say, well, it's just being sick for a little bit compared to having to stay in my house the entire time. Well, true, but you're spreading it, which is just not helping anyone. And if any of you are watching this, I know I don't have that much influence, but I feel like I have a certain responsibility to make this video because I can at least, say what I want to say. Ooh, this bed destruction though, I just felt like I have to point that out. Anyway, yeah, it's really terrifying. In case you guys don't know, I had a school trip that was planned. Actually, technically, I would have been getting onto the plane in 10 minutes. Wow, what a coincidence. I would have been on a plane to DC in 10 minutes if not for the coronavirus, but our school trip got, they say postponed, but yeah, we all know it's getting canceled. And the main reason for that was so we didn't bring it back to our families, and I think that made sense. I guess I'm kind of rambling on here with no end. It's kind of how I am, but I guess if there's anything I want you to take away from this is that please don't take unnecessary risk, okay? You might think, oh, it's not a big deal, it won't happen to me. Newsflash, oh, that's my teammate. Newsflash, it will happen to you, and it can happen to you, and apparently there's 54,000 people in the United States who also, just like you, thought, hey, it's never gonna happen to me, and guess what? It happened to them. And 700 of those people lost their lives because of it, because they thought it would never happen to them. And what's sad is that there's always like this one guy, or girl, guy is gender neutral. There's always that one person in your family that's like, you know what, I don't care. And then at a family gathering, they end up spreading it to your elderly, and then it just doesn't end well. It's just really not a fun time. I hope that we can get through this eventually. I know we will. It's not gonna cause an apocalyptic thing, at least if it doesn't mutate, and hopefully, it's under control and it doesn't, permanently destroy the economy or whatever. But I think it's just important to understand the risk, and if you aren't taking this seriously, just know that you're causing risk for everyone that is taking it seriously, even though it's out of their control, whether you care or not. And you're also putting yourself at risk, and it's just an unnecessary chance. Like, why would you want to take that chance? It's really not worth it. And I'm just trying to think if there's anything else I want to say. If you look at the rate of increase, it's really just, it's weird. It's insane at how fast it's spread, and it's only spreading exponentially larger. And another thing I wanted to say is this isn't necessarily to do with anybody specifically, but is it just me, or have I noticed that China's fatality rate is 3,000? They have 3,000 deaths and they have like 70,000 cases. On the other hand, Italy has 20,000 cases and they have around the same deaths, if not more at this point. I'm really not sure, but I just find that funny, That may be due to many of reasons. Either one, we're not getting correct information from China, but I highly doubt that. Like, there's no reason to hide that information. Or maybe the virus has it's already mutated. Maybe it mutated and the virus that's in the United States and Italy and Iran and all of Europe is actually a more serious virus than the one that was in Wuhan, China. So yeah, all I'm trying to say is please be careful, wash your hands, maybe grab a mask or two, or make your own. There's plenty of people that are making their own masks. Don't criticize other people that are just trying to protect themselves. And please stop buying toilet paper. Please. Like, seriously. I understand that you probably think you're going to run out of toilet paper, but actually, there is no shortage of toilet paper in the United States. There is no shortage. The shipment of toilet paper to these stores is not fast enough to meet the demand. But there are warehouses of toilet paper in the United States, and I don't think we're going to run out of toilet paper. And it's one of those things you can, it's a huge inconvenience, but please just stop. My dad tells me every time he goes shopping, he just sees no food. He literally just has to buy whatever food is left on the shelf, which is fine. I mean, my family personally, I guess we have enough food. I'm not really sure. But imagine all the people that can't afford to stock up and then they lose their job, and it's just really not a good time. So if you are, please try not to panic buy. I understand, but I mean, of course the people that watch my videos are not adults. If you are, kudos to you. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it for this video. I think I'll let the recording run so you guys can see the rest of this epic Bed Wars game that I recorded. But yeah, on that note, I will see you all later. If you like this content, which I won't be doing much, but if you like my content in general, please feel free to check out the channel. We got some spicy videos for you guys to watch, and hopefully you guys like and subscribe. Helps me out. And stay strong, everyone. And with that note, I will see you all later. Peace.